My son-in-law was helping me repair my car, but in reality, he was plotting my betrayal. When I found a hidden tracker under the car, I quietly removed it and sent it to Canada. It seemed like petty revenge, but 10 hours later, I received a phone call that made my blood run cold. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you were listening in the comments. Terrence showed up Tuesday afternoon with a socket set and pepperoni pizza. My favorite. He'd mentioned wanting to help with the truck repair, but I hadn't expected him to actually show. "Hand me that wrench," he gestured vaguely at my toolbox. No, the other one. "Yeah." I passed it over. "You know, you don't have to." "Hey, what's family for? Besides, Goldie would kill me if I let you do this alone. Your back's been..." "My back's fine." "Right, sure." He wiped grease off his hands. "Hey, I brought pepperoni. Your favorite, right?" How'd he know? Oh, right, because I'd mentioned it exactly once at every family dinner for 3 years. Real detective work there. We worked under the Dodge Ram until 7. Terrence stayed extra, cracking jokes, asking about my insurance fraud cases. Too attentive, too perfect. Something itched at the back of my brain, the way it used to when claimant stories lined up a little too neatly. Wednesday morning, I crawled back under the truck. Wanted to check Terrence's work. Old habits. My coffee thermos sat beside me on the driveway concrete, steam curling up. I reached for the rear axle mount, fingers following the metal, and stopped. A small black device, magnetic. Professional-grade GPS tracker. The thermos tipped over. Brown liquid spread across the concrete. My hands didn't shake. 29 years catching cheaters, thieves, and liars teaches you control. I pulled out my phone, took 17 photos from different angles. Insurance companies love documentation. Also makes you look insane to neighbors. Mrs. Chen next door probably thought I was photographing dirt. The device came off easy. I held it in my palm, turned it over. No branding, no serial number visible. Just a small LED, currently dark. I didn't confront anyone. That's not how investigations work. You watch, you document, you wait for them to make mistakes. Pilot Travel Center sits 15 minutes north on I-5. I found Hosea at the fuel pumps, logging his hours. Big guy, weathered face, the kind who'd hauled everything from furniture to livestock and didn't ask stupid questions. "I need a favor, weird one." He looked up. "Buddy, I've hauled weirder than you can imagine. What we talking?" "Need you to take this to Vancouver." I showed him the tracker. "Just keep it in your cab. Don't turn it on till you hit the border." "That legal?" "It's a GPS tracker, my property, my truck. You're just transporting it for me." His eyebrows went up so high they nearly hit his hairline. In my experience, that's either "you're crazy" or "I'm interested." Turned out to be both. 200? I slid the bills across his truck's hood. 200. Deal. He pocketed the tracker. "Though you got that look, the somebody's screwing me over look." Somebody might be. Back home, I texted Goldie. "Hey, sweetie, Terrence around?" "At work. Why?" "Just checking. Love you." "Love you too, Dad. You okay?" "Yeah, fine." I wasn't fine. I sat in my kitchen, staring at my laptop screen, watching that little GPS tracking app icon. The dot stayed gray, inactive, waiting. 7 o'clock Wednesday evening, my phone buzzed. Hosea. Border, turning it on now. The dot on my screen turned green, moved north, Vancouver bound. I poured coffee, let it go cold. Watched that dot track across the Canadian border while I sat in my Portland kitchen, wondering what the end game was. Cheating spouse theory didn't fit. Terrence loved Goldie. I'd seen it in how he looked at her, the way he remembered her favorite flowers, her coffee order. So, what was he tracking? 10 hours later, my phone lit up. Goldie's photo, her smiling at last. Thanksgiving, Terrence's arm around her shoulder. I picked it up. "Dad?" Her voice cracked, high-pitched, wrong. "Dad, something's happened. Terrence is... The police came. They're saying..." The line dissolved into sobbing, real sobbing, the kind that made your chest hurt just hearing it. I stood in my kitchen, cold coffee soaking into the floorboards, and watched that little GPS dot on my laptop screen sitting pretty in Vancouver, Canada. "Breathe, sweetie, just breathe. Tell me what happened." My kitchen floor needed mopping. I'd worn a groove in the linoleum, pacing while Goldie tried to form words through tears. Police came to the house. 3 in the morning. They said Terrence is... They're looking for him. Something about, Dad, they said murder. The word hung there. Murder. I pressed my hand against my mouth, stared at that green dot in Canada on my laptop screen. What? Who? I don't know. Some old man. They wouldn't tell me. Just kept asking where Terrence was. Where is he? Is he there? No. He left yesterday morning for a sales call. Portland. He was supposed to come back last night, but the sobbing took over again. Okay. Listen to me. Stay calm. I'm going to... They think he killed someone. Terrence wouldn't... He couldn't... I know, baby. I know. I didn't know. Not anymore. I tried Terrence's number 6 times. Straight to voicemail. Texted him. We need to talk. Now. Delivered, not read. Whatever you've done, we can fix it. Call me. Delivered, not read. Terrence, please. Delivered, not read. At 9, someone knocked. Heavy. Official. Detective Adama Watson stood on my porch. I hadn't seen her in 4 years, not since we'd wrapped that trucking company insurance scam together. She'd gone from fraud investigation to homicide. Her badge caught the morning light. Floyd Harper? Adama, what do you... Need to come in. Got questions. I stepped back. She walked into my kitchen like she'd been there before, took in the spilled coffee I still hadn't cleaned, the laptop with its glowing GPS dot, Mrs. Chen visible through the window pretending to garden. About? Terrence Oliver, your son-in-law. When'd you last see him? Tuesday. He helped me fix my truck. Why? He mentioned any plans? Where he was going? Sales calls, Seattle area, I think. Adama, what's going on? She pulled out her phone, showed me a photo. Elderly man, nice house, West Hills address. Crime scene tape visible in the background. Oswald Kemp, name mean anything to you? No, should it? 76 years old, found dead in his West Hills home yesterday evening. Terrence's GPS tracker puts him at the scene. That's impossible. His GPS would have shown... I stopped. Her eyes narrowed. Would have shown what, Floyd? The laptop sat between us, that green dot in Vancouver pulsing like a heartbeat. I need to show you something. We went outside. I pointed under my truck at the empty space near the rear axle, the clean rectangle in the dust. Tuesday night, after Terrence left, I found a GPS tracker under my truck. You found a what? Tracker, small, black, magnetic mount, professional grade. And you didn't call the police because I thought, I don't know what I thought, that he was checking if I was dating someone, being overprotective. Her face went through about 17 expressions. Confusion, disbelief, anger, something that might have been respect, then back to anger. So, what did you do with it? Sent it to Canada. You what? Paid a trucker $200. Thought it'd be funny. Let them track me to Vancouver while I sat here drinking coffee. Watson ran her finger along the undercarriage where the tracker had been, pulled out her phone, made some notes. When she looked up, her cop face was fully engaged. I'd seen it a dozen times when we worked insurance fraud together. She used it on people who thought they were clever, usually right before she proved they weren't. Show me where it was, I demonstrated. My hands shook slightly. Muscle memory from removing it kicked in, made the movements automatic. When did you activate it? 7 p.m. yesterday. Told the driver to turn it on at the border. Oswald Kemp's estimated time of death? Between 6 and 8 p.m.? Oh no. Yeah. Oh no. See, Terrence's phone pinged a cell tower near Kemp's house. But his GPS tracker, the one he obviously planted on your truck, showed him here, at your house, with you. The pieces slammed together in my head. An alibi. An alibi, except you screwed it up by being a smartass. He was supposed to be here, with me. The tracker proves it. Except you weren't here, the tracker was in Canada, and Terrence was... She paused. We don't know where Terrence was. He's missing. Missing? Vanished, yesterday morning, haven't heard from him since. I almost laughed. 30 years catching insurance scammers and my retirement plan is murdering random rich people? My pension's bad, but it's not that bad. So he killed this Kemp guy, used me as his alibi, and now he's run? That's one theory. What's the other theory? The other theory is you killed Oswald Kemp. Terrence found out. You killed him too. Then you cooked up this Canada story to cover your tracks. That's insane. Is it? You were an insurance fraud investigator. You know how to fake evidence. You know how GPS works. You've got the skills to pull this off. Adama, come on, you know me. I knew you. Past tense. People change, especially when they need money. How's that pension treating you, Floyd? Watson stood, collected her badge from my kitchen table. She didn't put it away, just held it. Floyd, I'm going to be straight with you. Right now, you're not under arrest, but you're not clear either. She moved toward the door, then stopped. And Floyd, that insurance fraud investigator brain of yours, the one that caught 50 scammers? Yeah? Start using it. Because either your son-in-law set you up for murder, or someone set you both up. Either way, her phone buzzed. She glanced at it. Her face changed, went pale. What? I asked. She looked at me, through me. They found Terrence. My throat closed. Is he? Motel, near the Canadian border. She was already moving to the door. He's alive, drunk, babbling about someone named Letitia and how it was all her idea. She left. The door clicked shut. I stood there in my kitchen, Thursday morning sun streaming through the windows, and pulled up my laptop. Typed into Google, Oswald Kemp, Portland, Oregon. The first result was an obituary. The second was a law firm, Morrison and Associates. And the third was a photo from some charity gala 2 years ago. Oswald Kemp, smiling, champagne glass raised. Beside him, a woman in a red dress. The caption, Oswald Kemp with his attorney, Letitia Stone. My hands found my phone, dialed Watson's number. Floyd, I'm busy. The woman Terrence mentioned, Letitia, she's Kemp's lawyer. Watson's taillights disappeared down my street. I stood at my window, watched Mrs. Chen finally give up pretending to garden and go inside. Letitia Stone, Oswald Kemp's lawyer. I pulled out my laptop, pushed aside the spilled coffee I still hadn't cleaned up, and started typing. 30 years catching insurance fraudsters taught me, wait, no. 30 years meant I knew how to dig. Lemuel Fisher answered on the fourth ring. Floyd, Jesus, haven't heard from you in, 3 years? How's retirement? Complicated. Need you to pull a policy for me, off the books. Cascade Insurance, if they still have it. Papers rustled on his end. They merged with Pacific Northwest 2 years ago. I don't have access anymore. But you know someone who does. Pause. Long enough I could picture him rubbing his face, debating. What's this about? Life insurance policy. $2 million. Insured name Oswald Kemp. That's the guy on the news, the murder. Yeah. Floyd, I'm not involved, but my son-in-law might be, and I need to know why. Another pause, longer. Give me 2 hours. I spread documents across my dining table, notepads, pens, my laptop in the center like mission control. Transform my kitchen into investigation headquarters. Old habits. 90 minutes later, Lemuel called back. Beneficiary is Letitia Stone, attorney at Morrison and Associates. $2 million payout on accidental death or murder. My pen stopped mid-note. Say that again? Murder clause. It's unusual but legal. Policy's been active 14 months. Who pays the premiums? Kemp himself, monthly auto draft. I circled Letitia's name on my legal pad, circled it again. 17 times total, while Lemuel explained policy details I wasn't hearing anymore. Thanks, Lemuel. Floyd, be careful. Morrison and Associates sat downtown on SW 5th Avenue. Glass building, expensive lobby, leather chairs worth more than my truck. The magazines in the waiting room were from this month. This month. Who keeps current magazines? Places you don't want clients reading too long, that's who. Get in, sign paperwork, get out, leave your wallet. The receptionist looked up. Young, 20-something, nameplate said Fawn. Can I help you? Hope so. I'm looking for Letitia Stone, old friend of Oswald Kemp's. Thought I'd check if she's handling his affairs. Her pen started clicking. Oh. Click, click, click. I'm so sorry for your loss. Mr. Kemp was appreciated. Is Ms. Stone available? No, not today. She had to go meet with, her eyes flicked to her computer screen. With a client. Which client? Maybe I know them. Oswald and I ran in the same circles. I really shouldn't. I smiled, warm, grandfatherly. Of course, professional discretion. I respect that. Just let her know Floyd Harper stopped by. She can reach me at 503-555-0147. Thanks to sweetheart. She wrote it down. Message pad. Pink. Her handwriting looped and careful. I left feeling clever. That feeling lasted until I got home and accessed Terrence's phone records. Goldie was primary account holder on their family plan. I was just helping my daughter manage her phone bill during this difficult time. 47 calls to the same number over the past month. I ran it. Letitia Stone's office line. My phone buzzed. Text from Goldie. Need to ask you something. Don't panic. I typed back. What's wrong? When did Terrence start traveling more? For work? January maybe? He said they gave him the West Coast territory. Why? Just trying to understand his schedule. Did he mention any new clients? Lawyers maybe? Dad, what's happening? What did you find? Nothing yet. Just eliminating possibilities. You're doing that thing. Your investigation thing. Sweetie? No, tell me. What did Terrence do? I called her. She answered crying already like she knew. Your husband was having an affair. Silence, the kind that echoes. With Letitia Stone, Oswald Kemp's attorney. I'm sorry. How do you know? 47 phone calls, late nights. The GPS tracker wasn't about me. It was about covering his tracks. Maybe they were just... Sweetie, they planned to kill Oswald Kemp for the insurance money. Terrence was supposed to do it. The tracker was his alibi. Stop. Just stop. I wish I could. She hung up. I stared at my phone, at the call log, at Letitia's number appearing over and over like a heartbeat. My phone rang. Unknown number. Harper. Mr. Harper, this is Fawn calling from Morrison and Associates. Ms. Stone wanted me to tell you she's very busy this week, but she'll call you when she has time. The phrasing, scripted, careful. Ms. Stone wanted me to tell you. Thanks for letting me know. I hung up, paced my kitchen, wore a groove in the linoleum. I'd just warned her. 30 years catching fraudsters, and I'd left my callback number like a rookie. She knew someone was connecting dots now, would cover tracks, destroy evidence. I called Watson. I screwed up. What did you do? Visited Letitia Stone's office. Left my name and number. She knows I'm investigating now. Floyd. Jesus. I know. I specifically told you. I know. I'm calling to warn you. She'll be careful now. Whatever evidence exists, she's destroying it. Then we better move fast. Friday afternoon, I spent 40 minutes navigating Pacific Northwest Insurance's phone tree. Press 1 for claims. Press 2 for billing. Press 3 to lose your mind. I pressed 3 accidentally, ended up with customer retention. Close enough. Eventually reached someone who confirmed what Lemuel found. 2 million, Letitia Stone, murder clause. I pinned a timeline to my wall with push pins. Old school method, needed to see everything at once. January, Terrence starts traveling more. February, insurance policy updated, Letitia added as beneficiary. March, GPS tracker planted, Oswald Kemp dies, Terrence arrested. My phone buzzed again, unknown number again. I answered. Harper, Mr. Harper. A woman's voice, smooth, professional, like honey over gravel. This is Letitia Stone. My secretary mentioned you stopped by. I understand you were friends with Oswald. My throat went dry. That's right. I'd love to talk, share memories. He was very dear to me. A pause, calculated. Perhaps Monday, lunch. I know a quiet place where we can talk privately. Every instinct screamed trap, but every investigator instinct said opportunity. Monday works. Wonderful. Il Terrazzo, 1 o'clock, and Mr. Harper. Yes, come alone. These conversations are so much more intimate that way. The line went dead. I stared at my phone. She knew. She knew I was investigating, and she was either going to kill me or try to buy me off. I should have called Watson. I didn't. Watson called Saturday morning. Need you at the station? Terrence is talking. Talking about what? Everything. Says he wants to confess, wants a deal, but he's asking for you, won't say why. Portland Police Bureau interrogation rooms look exactly like TV shows them. Two-way mirror, metal table, fluorescent lights that make everyone look guilty. I stood behind the mirror, Watson beside me. Terrence sat on the other side, head in his hands. When did you meet Letitia Stone? Watson's voice came through the speaker. Terrence looked up, eyes red, unshaven. Conference, medical sales convention, 2 years ago, Phoenix. He wiped his eyes. She was beautiful, confident. He stopped. Everything you what? Everything Goldie wasn't. Your wife, who's pregnant? His head dropped. I didn't know then, about the baby. I snapped my pen in half, didn't notice until ink stained my palm. Keep going. Letitia said she had a client. Old guy, loaded, said he was updating his will, making her the beneficiary. Life insurance, too. $2 million. That didn't seem suspicious. She said he didn't have family, that he wanted his estate to go to someone who'd appreciate it, who'd been loyal. And you believed her. I wanted to believe her. He stopped again. You owed who? Casinos, online poker, 800,000. Watson's pause came through the speaker. Jesus Christ. She said we'd split the insurance, $1 million each, enough to clear my debts, start over, together. Behind the mirror, I watched Terrence's hands shake so badly he could barely hold the water cup Watson pushed across the table. The GPS tracker, that was Letitia's idea? Yeah, she said I needed an alibi, solid. She researched, she's smart, she researches everything, and found that GPS holds up in court. So you planted it on your father-in-law's truck. She told me to, said Floyd would never check. Old guy doesn't know tech. I almost laughed. Old guy knows plenty. What were you supposed to do Tuesday night? Go to Oswald's house, 7 p.m. He always had tea then, routine every night. Letitia gave me digitalis powder, said to pour it in his tea when he wasn't looking. Heart patient, would look natural. But you didn't do it. Terrence looked up. Snot ran down his face. Real crying, the ugly kind. I couldn't. I drove there, parked outside, sat in my car for an hour, but I couldn't. I'm not a killer. So what did you do? Called Letitia, told her I couldn't go through with it. She was quiet, too quiet. Then she said, "It's okay, baby, come back. We'll figure something else out." And I drove to that motel, near the border. She told me to wait there, that she'd meet me, we'd run to Canada together, start over. She never came. Terrence laughed, bitter, broken. No, she didn't. But Oswald still died. Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m., heart attack. While my GPS said I was at Floyd's house, I turned to Watson. She did it herself. Looks that way. Terrence was never supposed to succeed. He was the fall guy from the start. And you were the second fall guy, insurance investigator with means and knowledge. She planned for both of us. Watson's phone buzzed. Her face changed, went pale. What? She looked at the screen, then at me. Shit. What? Arrest warrant just came through. For Terrence? Good. Conspiracy to commit. Not for Terrence. She looked up. For you. The room tilted. What? Letitia filed evidence this morning. Dark web purchase receipts. Digitalis. Seller verified the buyer as Floyd Harper. IP address traces to your home. That's impossible. I know, but the DA doesn't care. We have digital evidence putting you at the center of a murder conspiracy. She framed me. While I was investigating her, she was framing me. Yeah. Watson stood, pulled out handcuffs. Floyd Harper, I have a warrant for your arrest. Adama, for conspiracy to commit murder, obstruction of justice, and evidence tampering. You have the right to remain silent. They took my belt, shoelaces, and wallet. Standard procedure for suicide prevention. I'd been arrested for murder conspiracy, but they were worried I'd hang myself with my belt. Priorities. The officer doing my fingerprints was maybe 25. He kept apologizing. Sorry about this, sir. Kid, I'm arrested for murder. Your sympathy's appreciated but not helpful. Just press my fingers harder. One phone call. I used it on Lemuel. Floyd, caller ID says Portland Police. Tell me you're not. They arrested me. I need help. What kind of help? I'm an insurance investigator, not a lawyer. Medical examiner's report. Oswald Kemp. Can you access it? That's an active murder investigation. No way. You have contacts at the ME's office. You've pulled reports before for insurance claims. Closed cases, Floyd, not active murders. Lemuel, please, someone's framing me. The real killer is going free. Long pause. What am I looking for? Digitalis, cardiac glycoside poisoning. It'll mimic heart attack, but there'll be markers in the blood work. And if I find it, then you prove I didn't kill him. Because the purchase receipts they have are fake. How do you know they're fake? Because I collect historical insurance fraud documents, Lemuel. I don't buy poison on the dark web. The holding cell smelled like disinfectant and fierce sweat. I sat on the metal bench and laughed, not hysterically, darkly. 30 years catching insurance fraudsters, people who planned elaborate schemes, and I'd walked right into one. I'd underestimated her, profiled Terrence as the mastermind, but Terrence was a gambling addict with debt. Letitia was a lawyer with patience, intelligence, and resources. I'd profiled the wrong person as the threat. Sunday morning, Lemuel called the holding cell phone. Guard handed it to me through the bars. Got the ME report. I gripped the receiver. And digitalis, like you said, massive dose. Whoever did this knew dosage, enough to kill fast but look like cardiac arrest. Can you trace where it came from? Better. The ME found something. Paper rustled. Prescription bottle, empty. In Kemp's medicine cabinet. Digitalis for his heart condition. Prescribed by his cardiologist 2 years ago. Refilled 6 times. So the killer used his own medicine? Smart, right? No need to buy it on the dark web when it's sitting in his bathroom. My mind raced. That means whoever killed him had access to his house, knew his medicine, knew his routines. Yeah, and Floyd? The prescription was managed by his healthcare proxy. Who had healthcare proxy? Letitia Stone. She's been managing his medical decisions for 18 months. The line went silent except for my breathing. Floyd, you there? She had legal access to his medicine. She could take pills without anyone noticing. Right, which means the dark web receipts are fake. She framed me for buying something she already had. Exactly. I'm sending this to your detective friend. What's her name? Watson? Yeah, send it to Watson. I hung up, sat on my cell bench, thought about tomorrow's bail hearing, and thought about Letitia Stone, who just made her first mistake. She'd been too clever, too thorough. She'd covered every angle except one. She forgot to explain why I'd buy poison when the victim's lawyer already had access. Monday's bail hearing couldn't come fast enough. The holding cell smelled like industrial cleaner and bad decisions. I sat on the metal bench, phone call receipts spread beside me, mapping connections with a stubby pencil on paper napkins the guard had given me. Monday morning, bail hearing at 9. The prosecutor was maybe 35, kept calling me elderly defendant. I'm 68, not dead. Though according to him, I was spry enough to commit sophisticated murder, mixed messages. Your Honor, Mr. Harper has the means, motive, and opportunity. Dark web purchase records. My attorney stood. Kid was 27, fresh out of law school. Objection. Those records are circumstantial at best. The defense will show. Save it for trial. This is a bail hearing. The prosecutor straightened his tie. The defendant has demonstrated sophisticated knowledge of evidence manipulation. He's a flight risk. I leaned toward my microphone. I'm 68 years old. Where am I flying to? The judge looked at me. Mr. Harper, do you have something to say? Yes, Your Honor. I've lived at the same address for 23 years. I have a pregnant daughter 3 hours away who needs me. I'm not running anywhere. His daughter's husband is a murder suspect. Was a suspect, since somebody killed him too. The courtroom went quiet. Judge reviewed papers. Watson testified on my behalf. Former colleague, respected detective, believes evidence is manufactured. Lemuel's ME report showed digitalis came from Oswald's own prescription. Healthcare proxy access. Bail set at $50,000. Mr. Harper, you're not to leave the state. Next. $50,000. My entire retirement savings. The bond agent counted it twice. I didn't blame him. I'd count twice too if someone handed me their entire future in certified checks. Lemuel called while I drove home. You're out? 50 grand poorer, but yeah. That's your hole. I know what it is. Floyd, listen. The ME report helped, but you're still charged. You need a lawyer, real one. I have one, public defender, kid's 27. Christ, look, I can loan you. No, I need you to do something else. What? Healthcare proxy laws? Oregon. Who can authorize one? The patient, but they have to be competent. Sign paperwork. What if the patient had dementia, early stages? Then the proxy would be invalid. Why? Just curious. I hung up. Pulled into my driveway. Mrs. Chen waved from her garden. I waved back. Inside, I spread everything across my dining table. Insurance documents, phone records, timeline notes. Everything pointed to Letitia Stone. Lawyers are bound by strict ethics rules. Benefiting financially from a client's death is a massive conflict of interest. Even if my criminal charges stuck, the Bar Association investigation would be separate. I pulled up the Oregon State Bar website. Ethics complaint form. Anonymous submission allowed. My fingers hovered over the submit button. Point of no return. I clicked. Watson showed up at 6. Let herself in through the back door. Found me at my laptop. You filing a bar complaint? I looked up. How'd you? I'm a detective. Also, you left the form open when you went to get coffee. It's not illegal. No, it's smart. She sat down. Conflict of interest, lawyer as beneficiary. That's an ethics violation in any state. She killed him, Adama. Then she killed Terrence to cover it. Then she tried to frame me. I know. So why am I still charged? Because the DA's office has evidence. Fake evidence, but evidence. I'm working on proving it's manufactured, but that takes time. I don't have time. She's cleaning up loose ends. What's to stop her from coming after me? Or Goldie? Watson paused. Nothing. So I'm not waiting for the system to protect me. I'm taking her apart piece by piece. Legally. Of course. Legally. I clicked submit on the complaint form. I just filed an ethics complaint with evidence of professional misconduct. That's legal. That's encouraged, actually. Citizens reporting lawyer misconduct. Watson almost smiled. You're going to be a pain in my ass, aren't you? Count on it. I called the State Bar's ethics hotline. Got transferred twice. Hold music was Mozart. Symphony number 40. Felt appropriate somehow. Filing a career-ending complaint to classical music. Very civilized destruction. This is Sarah Reeves, Ethics Investigations. How can I help? I need to file a complaint against an attorney. Conflict of interest. Potentially criminal. Your name? I'd prefer to remain anonymous. Anonymous complaints are harder to investigate. I'm providing documentation, bank records, insurance policies, healthcare proxy forms. You won't need me. Pause. What's the attorney's name? Letitia Stone, Morrison and Associates, Portland. Typing sounds. And the nature of the complaint? She's the sole beneficiary of her client's $2 million life insurance policy. Client died under suspicious circumstances. She also held his healthcare proxy, giving her access to his medications. Longer pause. That's significant. I thought so. I'll need those documents. Already scanned. Sending to your ethics email now. Check your inbox in 30 seconds. Sir, may I ask, are you in law enforcement? Retired insurance fraud investigator. 30 years. Then you know what this could mean for Ms. Stone. Yes, ma'am, I do. I texted Goldie after. I'm out. Bail posted. Thank God. Are you okay? I'm fine. How are you? Dad, I know. I'm sorry about Terrence. He was going to kill someone. He was cheating on me. He got us into this mess, but he was still... I don't know what he was. He was scared. People do stupid things when they're scared. Are you scared? No. Liar. Maybe a little. Tuesday afternoon, my phone rang. Unknown number, Portland area code. I answered. Harper. Heavy breathing. Then, you filed a complaint. I recognized the voice. Smooth. Professional. Letitia Stone. I don't know what you're talking about. The Bar Association. Ethics violation. Conflict of interest. Each word clipped. Precise. That was you. I didn't answer. You're making a mistake, Mr. Harper. A very serious mistake. Am I? I tried to be merciful. Frame you, yes. But I didn't kill you. That was mercy. My blood went cold. Is that a threat? It's a fact. You're forcing my hand. Pause. You should have stayed quiet, taken your chances in court. Now what? Now I have to clean up one more loose end. The line went dead. I sat there, phone in hand, and thought about Terrence, found dead in a motel. Suicide. I thought about Oswald. Heart attack. I thought about my daughter, 3 hours away in Seattle, carrying her first child. My hands found my laptop. Pulled up a number I hadn't used in 15 years. Security Solutions Northwest. How can I help you? This is Floyd Harper. I need a consultation. Home security, cameras, alarms, the works. When would you like us to come out? Tonight. I need it tonight. Because Letitia Stone had just told me I was next. Wednesday morning. The security installer was maybe 22, kept calling me sir like I was his grandfather. Sir, this camera has night vision. Sir, this sensor detects motion up to 30 feet. Sir, you're probably going to set this off a lot by accident. Kid wasn't wrong. I set it off twice before he even left. My phone rang at 7:30. Watson. Floyd, where are you? Home. Why? What happened? Terrence Oliver. They found him. Found him? I thought he was in custody. Was. Made bail yesterday. His parents posted it. And they found him 2 hours ago. Motel 6, same one near the border. My throat closed. Dead? Very. How? Heroin. Track marks. Needles still in his arm. Suicide note. Bullshit. Yeah, that's what forensics says too. Note's a forgery. He was murdered. She's cleaning house. That's my assessment. How long before she comes after me? I don't know. But Floyd, lock your doors. The forged note said, I can't live with what I've done. Generic. Weak. If you're going to forge a suicide note, at least make it personal. This read like a high school creative writing assignment. C- work. 3 p.m. Goldie's neighbor called. Mr. Harper, it's Janet from next door. I heard a crash. Goldie's not answering. I called 911. I was in my truck before she finished the sentence. 3-hour drive to Seattle. I made it in 2.5. Broke every speed limit. Violated my bail conditions. Didn't care. Swedish Medical Center, 11th floor. Goldie in bed, IV in her arm, monitors beeping. Sweetie, I'm here. She was crying. They said I might lose the baby. You're not going to lose anything. Doctors said you're stable. High blood pressure, stress. They want to keep me overnight. Good, let them. Terrence is dead. I know. He was going to be a father. He was... She trailed off. He was a lot of things, some good, some bad. Mostly bad, apparently. I took her hand. Hey, look at me. You and this baby, you're going to be fine. You hear me? How? How am I going to raise a baby alone? You're not alone. You have me. Dad, you're facing murder charges. Not for long. How can you? Because I'm going to end this, whatever it takes. 2 a.m. Seattle hospital vending machine ate my dollar. I stood there shaking it for a bag of peanuts. I was facing murder charges, my daughter was in a hospital bed, and I was fighting a vending machine. Priorities, Floyd. Priorities. Thursday morning. Goldie stabilized. I drove back to Portland. Watson called at noon. You violated bail conditions. You left the state. My daughter was in the hospital. I don't care if she was on Mars. You broke the terms. Write me up. I don't care. What did you find? Pause. Then, come to the station. You need to see this. Watson slid a folder across the table. Letitia Stone's bank records. Took a warrant, but we got them. I opened it. What am I looking at? Wire transfer. $50,000, 1 week before Oswald's death. From who? That's where it gets interesting. Offshore account. Cayman Islands. Can you trace it? We did. Through 3 shell companies and 2 banks. She tapped the document. Account holder. Hezekiah Morrison. I stopped. Morrison. As in Morrison and Associates. Senior partner, founder's son. Been with the firm 40 years. Why is the senior partner wiring money to a junior attorney? That's not all. Check page 7. I flipped pages. Oswald Kemp's estate documents. Beneficiaries. Letitia Stone. 2 million life insurance. I kept reading. Trust fund distribution? What the hell? Keep reading. Hezekiah Morrison. $500,000. Repayment of personal loan from 2003. 22 years ago, Oswald loaned Morrison money. $500,000. That's not a small loan. Morrison's divorce. Nasty one. He was about to lose everything. Oswald bailed him out. And Morrison's been paying it back? No, that's the thing. He stopped paying 5 years ago. Oswald never pushed. They were friends. Were friends. Past tense. Right. Because now, Oswald's dead, and Morrison gets that debt erased. Plus the trust fund pays him the original amount. So he gets $500,000 for a debt he never finished paying. Exactly. 2 conspirators. Looks that way. Morrison and Letitia, they planned this together. Or separately. Maybe they didn't know about each other. No, I pointed at the wire transfer. $50,000, 1 week before the murder. They knew. Watson pulled out her phone, showed me text messages, subpoenaed records. Morrison. We need to talk, not on phone. Letitia. When? Morrison. Tonight, usual place. Letitia. The old man? Morrison. Tuesday, everything's ready. Letitia. You're sure about this? Morrison. It's him or us. The firm's dying. He won't extend the loan. Letitia. And the fall guy? Morrison. In place. Son-in-law plus father-in-law. Double frame. Letitia. Clever. Morrison. We're lawyers. Clever is what we do. I read them twice. They set up two patsies, Terrence and me. If one frame didn't work, the other would. That's the working theory. And now Terrence is dead. Because he was a loose end. Yes. Which makes me a loose end too. Yes. So why haven't they come after me yet? Maybe they're waiting for your trial. Let the system do it. Or maybe they're planning, like they planned with Oswald, with Terrence. Floyd, I need protection, for Goldie too. I can request, how long will that take? Budget approval, captain's sign-off, week, maybe 2. They killed 2 people in 5 days, Adama. I don't have 2 weeks. Watson pulled up more files, Morrison's financial records. I watched over her shoulder. Hezekiah Morrison, 62 years old, senior partner for 30 years. His father founded the firm in 1967. So he's rich. Was rich. Look at this. She pointed. 2015, market crash. Morrison had everything in tech stocks. Lost $3 million in 6 months. Ouch. Then his son, Harrison, got arrested. DUI, hit and run, killed a pedestrian. Morrison hired the best defense attorneys. Cost him another $1 million. Son still got 10 years. I looked at the prison visitation logs. Morrison visited Harrison every month. Never missed. Firm's been struggling too. Lost 3 major clients last year. Partnerships voting on dissolution. So Morrison's watching his father's legacy die. And he owed Oswald $500,000 he couldn't pay. Oswald was being patient, but eventually, I understood. Morrison wasn't just greedy. He was drowning, trying to save his son, his firm, his family name. Didn't excuse murder, but explained it. Friday morning, my phone rang at 6 a.m. Mr. Harper? Unfamiliar voice. Male. Older. Who's this? My name is Hezekiah Morrison. I believe you've been asking questions about me. My blood froze. How did you? Detective Watson's warrant was executed on our firm's accounts. My assistant notified me. Calm, professional. I thought we should talk. I have nothing to say to you. That's unfortunate because I have quite a bit to say to you. Pause. You see, Mr. Harper, you've made a fundamental miscalculation. Have I? You assume Letitia and I are allies, partners in crime, as they say. I waited. We're not. She killed Oswald without my knowledge. Used my money, yes. But I never authorized murder. Bullshit. I can prove it. I have recordings, text messages, evidence that shows Letitia manipulated me just like she manipulated your son-in-law. Why are you telling me this? Because she's coming after both of us now. You filed that bar complaint. I started asking uncomfortable questions about Oswald's death. We're both loose ends. So you want to make a deal. I want to survive. So do you. We can help each other. I looked at my new security cameras, motion sensors, panic buttons. I'm listening. Good. Meet me tonight, 9 p.m., Washington Park, the Rose Garden. Come alone. Last time someone told me to come alone, they were planning to kill me. Mr. Harper, if I wanted you dead, you'd already be in a motel room with a needle in your arm. 9 p.m., don't be late. The line went dead. I sat there, coffee going cold, and thought about traps within traps. Either Morrison was genuine, a desperate man trying to save himself, or this was the setup, the moment they'd been waiting for. I called Watson. Voicemail, tried again, still voicemail, sent a text. Morrison called, wants to meet tonight, says Letitia's the real killer, could be trap. No response. I checked the time. 14 hours until the meeting, 14 hours to decide if I was walking into my own murder, or my only chance to end this. Morrison sat on the park bench at 9 p.m. sharp. Washington Park, Rose Garden. Empty this time of night. Smart choice for a meeting neither of us wanted witnesses to. You came. You said Letitia's coming after both of us. That got my attention. He looked older than 62. Maybe 70. Shadows under his eyes like bruises. Smart man. He gestured to the bench. She's more dangerous than you realize. Is she? Or are you just trying to save yourself? Both can be both. Pause. I never wanted Oswald dead. You have to believe that. I don't have to believe anything. He was a friend, 20 years. When my son got arrested, when my marriage fell apart, when the firm was hemorrhaging money, Oswald helped. $500,000, no questions. And you repaid him by killing him. No, Letitia killed him. I didn't stop her. Same thing? Morrison looked at me. Long pause. Yeah, I suppose it is. I let him talk. Learned about Letitia approaching him 3 years ago. Professional conversation turning into conspiracy. How she'd suggested they could both benefit. How Morrison told himself Oswald was old, would die naturally soon anyway. Rationalizations, I said. Every criminal has them. He looked at me. What are yours? Excuse me? You're planning something. I can see it. What are you going to do to us? Whatever it takes to stay alive. I went home, spent 3 hours perfecting Oswald's signature, downloaded samples from insurance documents, practiced on notebook paper until my hand cramped. Irony? I was committing fraud to catch fraudsters. Career full circle. The letter looked authentic. Codicil to will. Everything to charity. Morrison cut out completely. Letitia's insurance beneficiary stays intact. 1 a.m., Morrison's office downtown. Picking the lock took 15 seconds. My personal best was 7, but I'm 68 now. Give me a break. Breaking and entering at my age should come with senior discounts. The bug went behind his law degree frame. Perfect placement. Would catch phone calls, in-person meetings, everything. Saturday afternoon, the forged letter arrived at Morrison's estate attorney. Official letterhead. Perfect signatures. Delivered by courier. I waited. 3:15 p.m. My earpiece crackled. Morrison's voice. We need to talk. Now. Letitia. I'm busy, Hez. What? Did you change Oswald's will? Before he died? What are you talking about? I just received a letter from Oswald's estate attorney. They found a codicil, dated 3 days before his death. Everything goes to charity. Pause. That's impossible. Is it? Because it cuts me out completely, but not you. Your insurance beneficiary stays intact. Hez, I didn't. You did. You planned this whole thing to screw me over, use my money to fund it, then cut me out. You're paranoid. Someone's messing with you. The only person messing with me is you. This was supposed to be 50-50. $2.5 million split. Now you get $2 million and I get nothing? The letter's fake. Has to be. It has his signature. His lawyer verified it. Which lawyer? What? Which lawyer supposedly verified it? Because his estate attorney is dead. Heart attack last year. I know because I helped find his replacement. Pause. Longer. Then who sent me this letter? Who do you think? Floyd Harper, the man we framed, the insurance investigator who spent 30 years catching frauds. Shit. Yeah, shit. He's playing us. We need to what? Tell the police? Officer, we're being framed for the murder we actually committed? We should have handled Oswald quietly. Your idiot Terrence screwed everything up with that GPS tracker stunt. My idiot? You approved the plan. I approved a clean exit. Heart attack, natural causes, no investigation. You turned it into a 3-ring circus. Because you were too weak to do it yourself, just like you're too weak to handle Harper now. Don't you dare. Face it, Hez, you're a coward. Always have been. That's why your wife left. Why your son's in prison. Why your firm's dying. You can't make the hard choices. Morrison's breathing got heavy. I made one hard choice. I trusted you. That was my mistake. Well, now we both pay for it. Line went dead. I saved the recording, burned it to USB drive, delivered it to Watson Sunday morning. Anonymous tip. She didn't ask questions, just took the drive. Sunday 6th a.m., simultaneous raids, Morrison's house, Letitia's apartment. Watson called at 10. We got them both. Morrison lawyered up immediately. Letitia tried to run, made it 3 blocks before patrol caught her. Did they talk? Oh, they talked, each one trying to blame the other. Morrison says Letitia was the mastermind. Letitia says Morrison forced her participation. What do you think? I think they're both guilty as hell. And I think you handed me the case of my career. Monday morning, police still processing Morrison's office. I walked through with Watson's permission. Witness consultation, she called it. Evidence bags everywhere. files, documents, computers. On Morrison's credenza, a framed photograph, black and white, old. I picked it up. Oswald Kemp, younger, maybe 50, holding a baby in baptismal gown. Morrison and a woman, his ex-wife, standing beside them, smiling. Inscription on the frame, Harrison Douglas Morrison, baptized June 13th, 1993. Beloved godson of Oswald Kemp. My hand froze. Godson. Morrison killed his son's godfather. Later, Watson showed me visitor logs. Oswald visited Harrison in prison every month for 10 years. Every month. When Morrison stopped going because the shame was too much, Oswald went. I sat in my car outside the police station, held that photo. I'd pocketed it, evidence tampering, but I needed to see it again. Harrison's innocent baby face, Morrison's proud father smile, Oswald's kind godfather expression. I picked up my phone 3 times, put it down twice. Finally called Watson. Adama, that photo, the baptism. Morrison's son was Oswald's godson. I know, we found the visitor logs. Oswald visited Harrison in prison every month for 10 years. Silence. Floyd, you there? I turned them against each other, made them destroy themselves. They already destroyed themselves. You just accelerated it. Did I? Or did I become the same thing they are? Floyd, I hung up, drove home, past Washington Park where I'd met Morrison, thought about his question. What are your rationalizations? Mine were, they killed 2 people. They tried to kill me. I had no choice. I was protecting Goldie. But were those reasons or excuses? I didn't sleep that night. Tuesday afternoon, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Harper. Mr. Harper. Woman's voice. Professional. This is Sarah Reeves from the Oregon State Bar Association. My stomach dropped. We've been reviewing your ethics complaint regarding Letitia Stone. Given recent criminal charges, our investigation is suspended pending trial outcome. Okay. However, certain irregularities emerge regarding the complaint itself. Specifically, the Oswald Kemp estate codicil you referenced appears to contain forged elements. I closed my eyes. While we understand this document was not created by you, we are required to investigate its origin. Please contact our office at your earliest convenience. I understand. Mr. Harper, Ms. Stone has filed a counter-complaint against you. Claims you forged documents, planted false evidence, conducted illegal surveillance. We're obligated to investigate. Of course she did. We'll be in touch. She hung up. I sat there. Kitchen table, laptop closed. The trap I'd set for Letitia and Morrison. Turned out I'd built one for myself too. The prosecutor's office smelled like old coffee and ambition. 3 weeks before trial. Mr. Harper, we need to talk about your investigation methods. I know what you're going to say. Do you? Because defense is going to crucify you up there. They'll ask about the forged letter, the wiretap, everything. Let them. That's not... Look, if you lie under oath, that's perjury, federal offense. But if you tell the truth, then I confess to crimes. I know. So what are you going to do? I looked at him. Young guy, maybe 35. Tell the truth, all of it. Even knowing the DA might charge you? Especially because of that. I'm not them. I don't lie to save myself. That's very noble. Very stupid, but noble. Story of my life. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Multnomah County Courthouse. Packed gallery. News cameras outside. Morrison's lawyer showed up in a Tesla. Letitia's lawyer arrived in a Porsche. My public defender drove a Camry with a duct tape bumper. But my people left with confessions. Their people left with billable hours. I took the stand on day 8. Defense attorney dropped the forged letter on the witness stand. Heavy thunk. Mr. Harper, did you forge a letter purporting to be from Oswald Kemp? Yes. Surprised by my directness. You admit that? I just said I did. And this forged letter, you used it to entrap my client? I used it to make your client believe his co-conspirator had betrayed him, which she had, just not in that specific way. So you manufactured evidence. I manufactured a catalyst, the evidence, the confession. They created that themselves. Did you also plant an illegal listening device in my client's office? Yes. Breaking and entering, illegal surveillance, evidence tampering, forgery. You're aware these are crimes? very aware. Yet you did them anyway. Yes. Why? I looked at the jury, 12 faces watching me. Because your client and Miss Stone murdered Oswald Kemp, then murdered Terrence Oliver to cover it up, then tried to frame me for both murders. The police were building a case, but it takes time. Time I didn't have. They were coming after me next, after my daughter. So, yes, I broke laws to stay alive. So, in your mind, the ends justify the means? No. But sometimes the means are all you have. The judge leaned forward. Mr. Harper, this court doesn't condone vigilante action. I understand, Your Honor. I'm not asking for approval. I'm accepting consequences. Morrison testified against Letitia. Said she killed Oswald alone. Brought him his evening tea with digitalis. Sat with him while he died. Said Oswald asked why, and she told him, because I earned it. 14 years of loyalty earns something. Said she killed Terrence too. Made it look like suicide. Letitia testified against Morrison. Said he planned everything. Approached her 3 years ago. Obtained the digitalis through old pharmacy contacts. Said Morrison insisted Terrence had to die. Watching them testify against each other was like watching two rats fight over a sinking ship. Except rats are smarter and less vindictive. The jury deliberated 6 hours. Guilty. Both of them. Letitia, 25 years. Morrison, 20 years. As they led Letitia out in handcuffs, she stopped beside my row, whispered, "You destroyed me, but you destroyed yourself too. That's the only comfort I have." I said nothing, because she was right. Watson found me in the courthouse parking lot. They both got what they deserved. Did they? 20 and 25 years, yeah. Letitia's 38. She'll be 63 when she gets out. Morrison's 62. 82 if he survives the sentence. You feeling sorry for them now? No, just wondering if destroying people makes you the same as them. It doesn't. They killed for money. You exposed them for justice. I broke laws doing it. Yeah, you did. Pause. The DA's reviewing your case. Evidence tampering, illegal surveillance, forgery. I know. Might bring charges. I know that too. You scared? Terrified, but I'd do it again. That's the Floyd I know, stubborn jackass. Takes one to know one. I went from $50,000 in savings to $347. Then from $347 to $30,000 in debt. That's a 60-day journey from comfortable retirement to poverty. New personal record. Home equity loan papers spread across my kitchen table. $30,000. My house is collateral. Only way to pay legal fees. I sign my name, Floyd Harper, debtor. The Bar Association investigator came the next week. Mr. Harper, the forged letter. Where is the original? I destroyed it. You destroyed evidence? It wasn't evidence. It was forgery. I created it to trap 2 murderers. But in doing so, you filed a false ethics complaint. That's fraud against the Bar Association. The complaint was legitimate. Letitia Stone violated ethics rules. The letter was just accelerant. Clever distinction, legally meaningless. You used our system to further a crime. I used your system to stop 2 murders. The DA's office will handle the murders. We handle professional misconduct. And Mr. Harper, you conducted yourself like a professional, an investigator, a detective, which means professional standards apply. I'm not a lawyer. No, but you could be charged as an accessory to legal fraud. The DA is considering it. Then I'll deal with that when it comes. Goldie arrived from Seattle the day after trial ended. 8 months pregnant, huge belly, swollen ankles. Dad, you could go to prison. Maybe, that's it, just maybe. What do you want me to say, sweetie? I want you to say you'll fight it. Hire a real lawyer, not let them do to you what Morrison and Letitia tried to do. I broke laws, several laws, on purpose. To save your life. Still broke them. She started crying. I can't do this alone. I can't raise this baby alone. Terrence is dead. You're all I have. I pulled her into a hug. You're not alone. Whatever happens, you're not alone. Promise? I promise. But Goldie, I can't lie in court. Can't claim I didn't do what I did. That would make me them. Even if honesty sends you to prison? Especially then. 2 weeks later, my public defender's office. Same cramped room. Same coffee-stained desk. The DA's offering a deal. What kind of deal? Plead guilty to evidence tampering, misdemeanor, probation, community service, $5,000 fine. No jail time? No jail time. They're acknowledging the circumstances, that you were acting in self-defense, essentially. I should have been relieved. What's the catch? He slid paper across. You waive your right to sue anyone involved. Morrison, Letitia, the police department, the DA's office. Everyone. They're covering their asses. They're offering you a way out. Take it, Floyd. You'll have a record, but you'll be free. I picked up the pen, put it down. What if I say no? Then they charge you with felonies, forgery, illegal surveillance, evidence tampering, the felony version. You're looking at 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5, minimum, maybe more if they stack charges. I thought about Goldie, about the baby coming in 2 weeks, about my savings, gone, my house, mortgaged, my future, uncertain. I thought about Oswald Kemp, about Terrence Oliver, about justice and law and the space between them. I picked up the pen again. Where do I sign? He pointed. I signed. My lawyer exhaled. You did the right thing. Did I? He didn't answer. I walked out into June sunlight, free, broke, guilty of a crime, but free. My phone buzzed. Goldie. Dad, water broke, baby's coming, hospital, now. I ran to my truck, drove to Seattle, and for the first time in 2 months, I smiled. Because some things, family, new life, second chances, matter more than justice, matter more than revenge, matter more than being right. I'd lost my savings, risked my freedom, broken laws, become what I fought against. But my daughter was safe, and her baby, my grandchild, was about to be born. That wasn't justice, that was grace. And maybe grace was all I deserved. My calculator sat beside the mortgage statement. Red final notice stamp across the top. I'd been running numbers for 3 hours. Same answer every time. Not enough. 30,000 in debt. 50,000 spent on bail. House payment due. Legal fees mounting. The plea deal saved me from prison, but cost 5,000 more in fines. I stacked photos of the house, preparing the real estate listing. My hands kept stopping on certain rooms. Goldie's bedroom when she was 12. The kitchen where we had Christmas dinners. 30 years of memories about to become someone else's. Phone rang. Unknown number. Almost didn't answer. Grabbed it on the 5th ring. Mr. Harper? Who's this? My name is Torrin Kemp. Oswald Kemp was my grandfather. My throat closed. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. We need to talk. Can you come to the house? His house? This afternoon? I'm not sure that's... Please, it's important. I drove to West Hills, the house where Oswald died, where Letitia poisoned his evening tea, where this whole nightmare started. Torrin met me at the door, 42, executive type, kind eyes. Led me to Oswald's study. 2 other people waited, older woman, younger man. My mother, Victoria, my brother, Marcus. Photos of Oswald everywhere, smiling, kind face. I couldn't escape what this cost. Mr. Harper, thank you for coming. You said it was about your grandfather. I wasn't sure I should. Why not? Because my son-in-law was part of killing him. Because I used questionable methods to catch the killers. Because you're the only reason we know the truth. Torrin gestured to chairs. Please, sit. I sat. How did you find me? The trial. We attended every day, heard your testimony, heard what you did to expose them. I broke laws doing it. You broke laws to catch murderers who killed my grandfather for money. There's a difference. Is there? Victoria leaned forward. My father spoke highly of fairness, of doing what's right even when it's hard. He always said the legal system and justice system aren't always the same thing. He sounds like a good man. He was, which makes what those lawyers did even worse. She paused. We want to thank you. No thanks necessary. Torrin shook his head. Mr. Harper, we know you spent your savings, mortgaged your house, faced potential prosecution. That's my problem. Dad's estate appreciated significantly after selling his pharmacy chain investments. We've been discussing how he'd want that money used. He'd want it to honor justice, to help someone who sacrificed for what was right. I didn't do it for money. We know. That's exactly why we want to give you this. He slid an envelope across the desk. I didn't open it. What is it? $100,000, from our family to yours. I pushed it back. I can't accept that. Victoria's voice softened. Why not? Because I didn't do this for a reward. I did it because they tried to frame me, because they were coming after my daughter. You did it for survival. That's honest. That's human. Dad would respect that. Your father's dead because my son-in-law got involved with those people. Your son-in-law's dead too. You've paid. Now let us help you. I picked up the envelope, still didn't open it. If I accept this, and that's if, I have a condition. Name it. Half goes to my daughter, for the baby, Terrence's child. Your grandfather's death is connected to that baby's existence. Maybe some good should come from that. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. Dad would love that. Done. 50,000 to you, 50 to your daughter. I opened the envelope, saw the check, $100,000. This is real. Very real. I don't know what to say. Victoria smiled. Say you'll accept it. Say you'll stop punishing yourself for surviving. Long pause. I'll try. When I deposited the check, the teller's eyes went wide. Sir, is this real? I said. As real as murder charges. She didn't laugh. Processed it very carefully, though. I wrote a second check immediately. Goldie Harper, $50,000. Dividing the money removed some guilt. Not all. Some. That evening, Watson showed up at my door, dropped a folder on my kitchen table. We need to talk about the wiretap. I sighed. I knew this was coming. DA's still reviewing. The recording was critical evidence, but the method was illegal, I know. Here's the thing. I've been going through Morrison's office lease agreements. Technically, his office is on property owned by the Morrison and Associates partnership. And according to partnership bylaws, any partner can authorize surveillance of partnership property. I'm not a partner. No, but Morrison's ex-wife is, or was. She retained partnership shares in the divorce settlement. I contacted her, explained the situation. She's willing to sign an affidavit stating she authorized security surveillance due to concerns about Morrison's behavior. That's a lie. That's a technical interpretation, one that makes your recording legal. Adama, Floyd, let me do this. You broke laws to catch killers. I'm bending rules to protect you. We're even. My hand hovered over the affidavit. If I sign this, I'm no better than them. If you don't sign this, you go to prison. Goldie raises that baby alone. Morrison and Letitia win from their cells. I signed. I hate this. Good. That means you still have a conscience. They never did. I looked at her. I became what I was hunting. No, you became desperate. There's a difference. Is there? I forged documents, planted bugs, manipulated people. To stop murderers. That context matters. Does it? Or is that just how I sleep at night? Floyd, they killed for money. You broke rules for survival. If you can't see the difference, you're blind. I see it. I just don't know if it's enough. It has to be, because you're all Goldie has left. A week later, letter arrived. Oregon State Correctional Institution return address. Sender, Harrison Morrison. I opened it carefully. Mr. Harper, you don't know me. I'm Hezekiah Morrison's son. My father killed my godfather. I learned this in prison, from news coverage. Oswald Kemp visited me every month for 10 years, when my own father stopped coming, when everyone abandoned me. Uncle Oswald came. He talked about second chances, about redemption, about how one mistake doesn't define a life. My father defined his life with one mistake, killing the man who believed in me. I wanted you to know what you did, exposing them, mattered, not just to Oswald's family, to me. Thank you for caring about justice when my own father didn't. Harrison Morrison, inmate, Wagda Stars, Yav, Yad 847392. I read it twice, filed it in Oswald's case folder. Another life touched, another connection made. Justice is never simple. That night I stood in my kitchen, check deposited, debts paid, legal threat neutralized, should feel victorious, felt tired, phone buzzed, Goldie. Dad, water broke, baby's coming, hospital, now. I ran. 1 month later, Watson dropped an envelope on my table. It's done. What's done? DA's office. They're closing the investigation. No charges filed against you. I picked up the letter. Official letterhead. Case closed, stamped across the top. My fingers traced the words. Just like that, Morrison's ex-wife's affidavit sealed it. Authorized surveillance, you were acting on legitimate concerns. It's still a lie. It's a technical interpretation. There's a difference. Is there? Floyd, take the win. You're free. Clear. Done. Free. I set the letter down. Funny word for this. What would you call it? Complicated. Fair enough. She paused. For what it's worth, I'd do it again. Everything we did. Would you? 2 murderers in prison. You alive? Your daughter safe? Yeah, I would. Even the lying part? Especially the lying part, because some lies protect the truth. That evening, I went to Lucky Strike Bar. First time in 2 months, attempting normalcy. Larry, the bartender, looked up. Floyd Harper, haven't seen you in what, 2 months? Been busy. Saw you on the news, that murder trial. Yeah, you're famous now. I'm something. Beer? Please. He poured, slid it across. This one's on the house. Heroes don't pay. I'm not a hero, Larry. What are you then? Tired. I racked billiard balls, old routine, muscle memory returning, hands steadier than they'd been in months. The familiar weight of the cue stick, the precise click of balls connecting, some normalcy returning. Not all, some. 2 days later, hospital. Swedish Medical Center, Seattle. 11th floor. Nurse. Mr. Harper, your daughter's ready. I entered. Goldie in bed, exhausted but smiling, holding a tiny bundle. Hey, sweetie. Hey, Dad. Want to meet someone? I approached carefully. He's tiny. He's perfect. She held him up. Dad, meet your grandson. I took him awkwardly, small, warm, real. Hello there, little man. We named him. Yeah? Oswald Floyd Oliver. I stopped moving. What? Oswald, after the man whose death brought justice. Floyd, after the man who delivered it. Goldie, you don't have to. I want to. He should know about good men, about sacrifice, about doing what's right even when it's hard. I looked at the baby, counted fingers, 10. Perfect. Oswald Floyd Oliver. That's a lot of name for such a small person. He'll grow into it. Yeah, he will. Later, when the nurse took the baby, Goldie looked at me. Dad, can I ask you something? Always. You taught me to be honest, to follow rules, to do things the right way. I did. So why did you break the law? The forged letter, the wiretap, all of it. Why? Long pause. Because sometimes justice matters more than rules. But nothing. They killed Oswald for money. Killed Terrence to hide it. Were coming after me next. Maybe you. The system was too slow, so I did what I had to. Even though it was wrong, especially because it was wrong, because that's how desperate it was. Would you do it again? Yes. Should I teach that to my students? I smiled slightly. No, definitely don't teach that. Teach them to follow rules, to be honest, to trust the system. But you didn't. I'm 68 years old. I spent 30 years following rules. Sometimes that's not enough. I looked at the baby through the nursery window. But sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes justice happens anyway. Home that night, alone, kitchen table. I opened my fraud collection cabinet. 30 years of cases, hundreds of fraudsters caught, by the rules, through the system, until this one. Made a new folder. Kemp, Oswald, wrote carefully, perpetrators, Letitia Stone, 25 years, Hezekiah Morrison, 20 years. Method, illegal surveillance, forged evidence, manipulation. Result, guilty verdicts, justice served. Status, closed, paused, added one more line, cost, everything. Then looked at grandson's ultrasound photo, changed it to cost, everything, worth, this. Placed the photo inside the folder, closed the cabinet, phone rang, Goldie. Dad, when are you coming back up? Oswald wants to see his grandpa. Tomorrow, sweetie, I'll be there tomorrow. 6 months later, Christmas card arrived from Morrison's ex-wife. It said, "Thank you for putting my ex-husband in prison. Best gift ever. Happy holidays." She wasn't being ironic. I kept it. Felt appropriate somehow. August evening, my study, window open, summer breeze, sounds of neighborhood, kids playing, lawnmower, life continuing. Phone buzzed. Watson, beer tomorrow, Lucky Strike, 7 p.m. Yeah, see you there. Another text. Goldie, photo of baby Oswald, sleeping. He has your nose. Poor kid. I looked at the case file one more time. 30 years of fraud investigation. This one different. This one cost me. This one saved me. Same thing somehow. Closed the file, locked the cabinet, kitchen, poured bourbon, 2 fingers, didn't drink immediately, just held it. Toast to Oswald Kemp. You deserve better. Toast to Terrence Oliver. You deserve better than what you became. Toast to myself. You deserved something. Drank. Burns going down. Good burn. Pulled up laptop. Typed Seattle apartment rentals. Because Goldie needs help. Because grandson needs grandfather. Because this is what matters now. Not justice, not revenge. Family. Does that make everything worth it? I'll find out. One day at a time, Floyd Harper, 68 years old, insurance fraud investigator, retired, vigilante once. Grandfather, now. Life doesn't give you neat endings, but sometimes it gives you enough. I looked at my reflection in the dark window. Older, grayer, different, but not broken. Changed, but not beaten. Justice has a price. I paid it. And somehow, impossibly, it was enough. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.